Welcome to FOMO Consulting for your daily AMC stock analysis video on Tuesday, July 6th. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a lot of bullish news today and, of course, more price manipulation. And as always, the apes are winning, the diamond hands are winning. Most importantly, the retail investors winning. So if you find this video informative and entertaining, please like, share, certainly comment, and most importantly, subscribe. It's a newer channel and I'd appreciate the support. Let's get into the video. Thank you to each and every one of you who has liked, shared, commented, and subscribed. It means the world to me. Thank you very much. So let's start with a quote. A setback is a setup for a comeback. We've had a few red days, certainly a lot of price manipulation, trying to pin us closer to 50, break support, get us out of the pennant. Obviously, a lot of sell-offs, a lot of FUD, a lot of coordinated attacks. But I believe we are perfectly set up for a comeback this week, and I believe we will, because the one thing that is inherently true no matter what is they have to cover. So let's look at the broader market. Obviously, AMC, in my opinion, was heavily affected, as well as GME and others, by the sell-off, really, of all the indices right at the opening bell. S&P sold off very heavily, closed down 8 points, did have somewhat of recovery. As you can see, Dow was down over 400 points at one point in time, sold off, closed down 208. NASDAQ actually sold off and recovered up 24, and Russell had a heavy sell-off. They were down close to 50 at one point in time, did recover to close negative 31. So overall, as you can see, a lot of blood in the market today, a lot of selling pressure, what have you. Some of the big players, tech, blue chips, did have a recovery after the heavy sell-off. So overall, AMC did quite well in comparison. So let's look at crypto. Overall, crypto is trending pretty much mixed today. Overall, nothing too terribly bad, not good, but overall, again, pretty stable day. AMC scraps plans for vote on 25 million share sale. Absolutely bullish. This is now off the table, period, for the rest of this year. It is not going to be voted on. It will not be discussed going forward. And as you can see, some of the positive articles that came out, a lot of bullish news around this, certainly should have sent the price upward, and it did, until they started their manipulation tactics. So I believe very much at this point they are trying to demoralize the apes, the diamond hands, and the retail investor. Because again, you have the FTD thing up in question. You certainly know that they have to cover. And keep in mind, we don't know whose money they're managing. But I'm sure they're under enormous pressure, whether it's skirting the law, breaking the law, bending the rules, whatever, to get out of this situation, because I'm sure on the opposite end, from their clients, they're facing enormous pressure due to the heavy losses. Demoralization, warfare, has been going on for centuries, but let's look at the definition. Demoralization in a context of warfare, national security or law enforcement, a process in psychological warfare with the objective to erode morale among enemy combatants and or non-combatants that can encourage them to retreat, surrender, or defect rather than defeating them in combat. We are definitely dealing with cowards here. They're arrogant cowards. They're jerks. We all know this. But at the end of the day, if you look at the FUD articles, the propaganda that Nazi Germany used in World War II, you can clearly see on the left, he earns $15 a week to risk his neck, and then $45 a week and is safe at home having a real job. Again, a lot of propaganda, manipulation, trying to demoralize the United States troops, the coalition troops, the general public, the politicians, you name it. There was tons of propaganda, tons of manipulation. We are facing a very similar psychological battle here. This is more than price at this point. This is trying to wear us out, and it will not win because why? Diamonds are forever. So the more you understand the opponent, the more knowledgeable we can become, right? So hedge fund fee structures in general are a 2 and 20. So 2% under management is their typical arrangement. 20% is the annual standard performance or incentive fee of 20% of profits made by the fund above a certain predefined benchmark. So do you believe that they are 20% above on AMC and GME? I think not. They are really trying, obviously, to get back in line to get us out of our positions, because we all know they are billions underwater and they have no way out. And obviously, they're playing with someone else's money. Well done, German apes. You faced a end of day sell-off around the same time we did, but well done. 43.07 euros, down almost 4%. No sweat. You held the line for the better part of the day, and I'll show you that sell-off here very shortly. So this is AMC. Obviously today we had a really strong pre-market, and then from the opening bell, just like I showed you with the Russell, it absolutely sold off. The Russell was down below, as you can see, and then it just kind of bled off throughout the day. We were on SSR, but they allowed it to uptick rule, and then shorted us right back down. Around the 2 p.m. range, give or take Eastern Standard, there was a heavy sell-off. So let's look at the coordinated effort. So we closed at 49.96, down $2 or 3.85%, down a bit after hours. But that 2 p.m. range was, again, much like iceberg on Friday. All of a sudden, Ortex showed a really screwed up short interest. And at the same time, give or take, there was a heavy sell-off, obviously coordinated, almost to make you believe, right, that, oh, well, the short interest they've covered, no problem, right? Obviously, Ortex fixed it, and they're not at fault whatsoever. Obviously, the sources that they get their information can be manipulated, and likely were. And obviously, the information that came in conjunction with that sell-off was very coordinated, in my opinion. It was fixed and has been fixed since. So again, you can see on the 10-minute chart, or excuse me, the 1-hour chart, I apologize, we were under heavy selling pressure throughout the day. Obviously, we're down in the lower angle, but we also have a lot of room to run. We're still in that pennant, no big deal. And again, we have a lot of room to run on RSI and MACD. So if you look again on the daily chart, we're still in the pennant, no big deal. I believe we are poised for a breakout. We are, again, on very low volume in comparison to our recent self, I guess. Overall, again, the RSI is back in the channel, and MACD is certainly in a bearish direction, but I believe a couple green days will fix that. But again, we have a lot of room to run, folks. A lot of room to run. Alligator's mouth still open, but we need to keep it open. That green line is touching the red, which is basically in the equivalent of the lip touching the teeth, but the mouth is still open. Let's try to keep that green line away from that blue line, and we'll be just fine. Again, RSI back into kind of a neutral position, and MACD certainly been pressed down, and again, a lot of room to run. That $50 level I pointed out the last couple of days is absolutely key. They know it, we know it. That is a major support. If they break it, press us down, which I believe they have every intent to close below 50. Again, psychological warfare. To try to scare us. I believe they know that there's a pennant, that we could very well have a breakout very soon, and they're doing everything they can to shake out as many paper hands as they possibly can. And there will be a decision made on this stock very soon based on that pennant and other factors. It can either obviously go up very quickly, or we can drop down to the low 40s, depending on which way it breaks and how much support we maintain. GME had a very similar day as AMC, certainly recovered, but had the big sell-off at opening bell, and then it just kind of waved around and actually the volume on GME was very, very low today. As you can see, it's not one of the more full charts you'll ever see. Again, I believe they're trying to demoralize both AMC and GME, low volumes, kind of bore us to death, essentially. Keep the price pinned down and just wait us out. But if you look, the short interest, again, is creeping up. You're getting close to 10% again. They certainly borrowed some shares today, even on lower volume, and used them when applicable. IWM, again, Russell 2000 being down today, IWM being the ETF AMC is very heavily associated with. You can see heavy sell-off at the opening bell, and then mirrors the AMC chart almost to a T. Short interest, you can see they borrowed 1.67 million shares today, and they likely used them as needed to help keep us pinned. Bar chart, again, just their personal opinion, still a very strong buy for AMC, no sweat. Huge bullish news. I believe UFC will be shown in AMC theaters throughout the United States. I believe it's 85 or 95 different locations. I'm not exactly sure which ones at this point, but I can tell you this is absolutely huge. Having sporting events shown live in an AMC theater is groundbreaking. It's pioneering. This is absolutely fantastic. It can open the door for a lot of other sporting events to be shown in an AMC theater. Again, very, very bullish. Reminder: Black Widow comes out this weekend. It's absolutely going to be huge. And F9 absolutely had a fantastic weekend. Again, fundamentals do mean a lot, and it was the first Hollywood blockbuster to roar past 500 million globally since the pandemic, since Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. So, absolutely huge. The movie theater experience is certainly not a dead one. Again, margin requirements are in place and increasing by different brokerages. Very bullish. This has actually increased a bit. This is the average age of short shares on loan. This is close to 37 days at this point. And the short interest trend data is not updated yet. It will update tomorrow morning. But you can see that was the big scare tactic. How it got to that place, I am not sure at the time of this recording. I'm sure the information will come out of how this occurred from Ortex and other people, but quite frankly, I believe the source information was likely manipulated. So as you can see, it was all fixed. We're at 18.16% at the time of this recording. Utilization around 85%. Shares on loan 95.49. They borrowed 3.6 million shares today, shorted as appropriate, and returned 4 million. So there was a net pickup of 423,000 shares. No big deal. Nothing has changed on the institutional ownership, and volumes were very, very low. Ironically, Fintel's shares available hardly changed throughout the day. I believe they started around 2.7 and they closed at 2.6 million short shares available today, which I thought was interesting with all the information or the issues going around with Ortex today. So looking at the options, you can see we're on the put side around that $45, $46 mark. There's a heavy concentration. Certainly where we are currently around that $50 mark on both sides of the equation. Decent concentration. 55 and 60 is a heavy concentration, at least for this week. 1.5 to 1 call to put ratio, certainly very bullish, but volumes were down heavily today, actually, versus last week. Only 637,000 contracts traded. So, again, holiday week, lighter week. We'll see how the rest of the week plays out, but you can certainly see that volumes were lower and large trades were pretty much few and far between. Overall, fundamentally, nothing's changed, but always fun to look at. As you can see, it's kind of showing a 50-50 up or down. We'll see how this plays out. Let's close with a quote. I never lose. I either win or learn, from Nelson Mandela. We haven't lost. We are winning. Do not let the price determine the score. We all know what they have to do to win, which is get you out of your shares so they can cover. What we have to do is buy and hold. Simple, right? So we know the formula, they know the formula. This is a battle of wills and psychology at this point. So as always, I want to thank you all for watching. If you found the video informative, entertaining, please like, share, certainly comment, and most importantly, subscribe. It is a newer channel and I would appreciate the support. But as always, I hope your life is full of green candles. Take care. Talk to you soon.